So, this is how it ends. For me, at least. But power doesn't die with me. There are things even I didn't know, secrets buried long before my time. What if there was a fourth Hallow, a power left untouched, waiting to be discovered? This is the story of the Silent Bell, and you're watching Rewriting the Past. Harry Potter, the boy who defied death, now found himself helping to restore the foundations of a shattered world. With Hermione and Ron at his side, they rebuilt Hogwarts, healed the wounds of a broken ministry, and led the wizarding world into an era of peace. Years passed, and life returned to something resembling normality. Hogwarts flourished again, students filled its halls, and for Harry, peace finally seemed possible. He had a family now, his wife, Ginny, and their children. Time, as it tends to, moves forward. It was during one of those quiet, peaceful years that Harry found himself back at Hogwarts, this time not as a hero or fighter, but as a father. His son, James Sirius, was attending his first year at the school, and Hogwarts was holding a special event, the Founders' Feast, an annual celebration to honor the 4 founders of the school and the rich history of magic that flowed through its halls. It had been years since Harry had wandered the corridors of Hogwarts, but on this particular evening, after the festivities had died down, he found himself walking through the castle once more. He smiled as he passed familiar places, the Great Hall, the Gryffindor Common Room, and the library where he, Hermione, and Ron had spent countless hours. But as he had made his way towards the 3rd floor corridor, something pulled at him, a faint memory. He stood in front of an old, familiar mirror, the Mirror of Erised. It has been tucked away, forgotten in the corner of a dusty room, yet it still stood tall, its silver frame glinting faintly in the dim light. Harry hadn't seen the mirror in years, not since the first night he had gazed into it and seen his family looking back at him. Now, he was older, wiser, but as he approached, wiping the dust from the glass, something felt different. He glanced down at the base of the mirror, his fingers brushing against the cool metal. That's when he saw it, an engraving, faint but unmistakable. The symbol of the Deathly Hallows. The triangle, the line, the circle. How had he never noticed it before? His pulse quickened. Why would the Hallows' symbol be here, of all places? As his fingers traced the symbol, he felt something shift. A soft click. A hidden compartment at the base of the mirror slid open with a quiet groan, revealing a small, silver object inside. A bell, small and gleaming, untouched by time. Harry felt his breath catch. The bell wasn't just any artifact. It was ancient, powerful, and it radiated a strange, almost eerie stillness. Later, back at the burrow, Harry couldn't stop thinking about the bell. He had taken it home with him, but its weight pressed on him as if it were calling him. He showed it to Hermione and Ron. Hermione's face went pale as she read through an old, tattered text she had found. This is the silent bell, she read, her voice barely above a whisper, but it never mentioned in the tale of the three brothers. The tale of the three brothers was known to all. 3 gifts from death: the Elder Wand for power, the Resurrection Stone for loss, and the Invisibility Cloak for protection. But the bell was something different, something hidden. According to Hermione's research, Death had originally created 4 gifts, but the silent bell wasn't a reward, it was a trap, a punishment. Its purpose was to sever all connections between people, magic, and between life itself. The youngest brother, wise beyond his years, had refused the bell, knowing its true purpose: to isolate the wielder, to leave them utterly alone. And so the bell was hidden, buried deep within Hogwarts, sealed away in one place that reflected humanity's deepest desires: the Mirror of Erised. Harry couldn't shake the pull the bell had on him. It felt as though it had been waiting for him. After days trying to ignore it, he decided to take it back to Hogwarts, hoping for answers. One evening, after everyone had gone to bed, Harry returned to the empty Great Hall. He wanted to be somewhere quiet, away from the noise and distractions of life. He sat in a dim corner near the old fireplace, staring at the bell in his hand. The silence around him felt heavier than usual, the flickering shadows of the fire casting long, wavering shapes on the walls. What would happen if he rang it? His hand trembled as he lifted the bell, the weight of it almost too much to bear, but curiosity, as always, won out. With a deep breath, he rang the bell. Nothing, no sound, no echo, just silence. But then, everything around him changed. The walls of the great hall rippled, like water disturbed by a single drop. The warmth of the fire vanished, replaced by deep, bone-chilling cold. Harry stood, alarmed, but the floor beneath him was no longer there. The room dissolved into mist, swirling and endless. Hogwarts, the castle he knew so well, had disappeared. Out of the mist, shapes began to form, shadowy figures, their faces obscured, their presence unnerving. They were tall, ancient, and powerful. They didn't move like people. They didn't feel like people. Harry's breath caught in his throat. These weren't ghosts. These weren't from his world at all. There was something far older. Forgotten beings, hidden away for centuries, now drawn back by the bell. The air was thick with a sense of dread. Harry could feel it. This place wasn't meant for him. He wasn't meant to be here. The silent bell hadn't just cut him off from Hogwarts. It had pulled him in to another realm entirely. As the mist swirled, one of the figures stepped closer, its face still shrouded in darkness. Harry's heart pounded. What did they want? How could he get back? But before he could react, the figures raised a hand, and then the voice came, quiet, ancient, like it had waited 1,000 years to speak. You were never meant to find this place, Harry Potter. If you want to see what lies ahead, you'll need only lift a finger, a simple like, and perhaps, just perhaps, there'll be more secrets to uncover.